Hello and welcome to Practical Philosophy. On our journey to seek the meaning of life, we often ponder eternal truths and the unchanging principles that illuminate the path ahead. Yet, despite the countless generations that have passed and the profound teachings left behind by the great sages, humanity continues to repeat the same mistakes, trapped in the endless cycle of ambition and confusion. The wisdom of the ancients is not merely a collection of simple advice. It is the distilled essence of life's experiences, forged through failures and growth. Ironically, however, these profound insights are often forgotten, not because they have lost their relevance, but because people lack the patience to truly reflect upon them. There are teachings that everyone has heard, but not everyone truly understands. People tend to accept only what aligns with their existing beliefs and quickly dismiss anything that challenges their perspective. That is why, when reading the following words of wisdom, do not rush to agree or disagree. Instead, ask yourself, have I truly understood this? Have I experienced it deeply enough to grasp its essence? Because once you genuinely comprehend these lessons, your life will never be the same again. And that is the moment you step beyond the realm of vague existence and into a life of true meaning. 1. A measure of rice earns gratitude, a bushel of rice breeds resentment. Kindness is one of the most noble qualities of humanity, yet it is a double-edged sword if not exercised wisely. The essence of helping others is not merely about giving. It also shapes the psychology and perception of both the giver and the receiver. If not approached with caution, kindness can transform into an overwhelming debt of gratitude, or worse, the root of resentment. Human psychology operates in fascinating ways. When people receive help initially, they feel grateful. However, if assistance becomes a routine, it ceases to be seen as a favor and instead becomes an expectation. This transformation happens gradually and subconsciously, eroding gratitude over time. Then, when the help is suddenly withdrawn, the recipient does not respond with understanding but rather with disappointment, sometimes even anger. A real-life example illustrates this paradox. A successful businessman in the U.S. once financially supported his childhood friend, Michael, for years, helping him escape financial struggles. Initially, Michael was deeply grateful, but as time passed, he began to take the support for granted. When the businessman eventually faced his own financial difficulties and could no longer help, Michael did not show empathy. Instead, he accused him of changing, saying, "You're not the same friend you used to be." This may seem ironic, but it reflects a common social tendency. People quickly adapt to receiving benefits but struggle to cope with loss. This phenomenon is also evident in parent-child relationships. Many parents spoil their children, continually providing for them without teaching independence. When these children grow up and face a world that no longer offers the same safety net, they feel frustration instead of gratitude. Why? Because they have been conditioned to receive without effort. The same pattern emerges in corporate management. A leader who is overly generous and shields employees from hardship may unintentionally foster a culture of dependency. When the company faces a downturn and privileges are revoked, those who benefited the most often become the loudest critics. The key takeaway is not to avoid helping others but to help wisely. Assistance should come with guidance, empowering recipients to stand on their own. Otherwise, you risk creating dependency and, ultimately, resentment. Instead of handing out an endless supply of rice, offer them the tools to cultivate their own. That is the essence of sustainable kindness. We often believe that helping others is inherently good, but kindness without wisdom can lead to unintended consequences. Imagine a friend facing financial struggles. You lend them money, supporting them through tough times. Initially, they appreciate your help, but if you continue assisting them without setting boundaries, their gratitude fades. One day, when you are no longer able to help, they don't remember all that you have done for them. Instead, they feel abandoned. Gratitude turns into resentment. This occurs because human nature adjusts to what it receives. What starts as an act of generosity can eventually be perceived as an entitlement. This is particularly true in social dynamics. A leader who is too lenient may create complacency among employees. Parents who overprotect their children may inadvertently raise individuals who struggle with independence. Helping others should not mean merely giving. It should mean providing opportunities for them to rise on their own. 2. knowing many things but mastering none. In the end, nothing is truly learned. In today's world, versatility is highly valued, and people are encouraged to learn multiple skills and expand their knowledge across various fields. However, there exists a paradox that is not always easy to recognize. The more we know without mastering anything, the more we blur the lines of our true capabilities. This leads to a dangerous illusion. We believe we are skilled, but in reality, we merely skim the surface without grasping the essence of anything in depth. A person may know about financial investments, but if they have only read a few popular books without deeply studying the market, they are merely assembling scattered puzzle pieces rather than forming a complete picture. A person may study philosophy, but if they only quote famous sayings without understanding the logic behind them, they become nothing more than a machine that repeats knowledge without independent thought. Superficial knowledge creates the illusion of wisdom, making people more susceptible to being deceived by appearances rather than truly understanding the core of things. This phenomenon is especially dangerous in modern society, where access to information is effortless, yet critical thinking is in decline. Someone may spend hours scrolling through social media, reading hundreds of articles, but if they lack the ability to filter and critically analyze information, they are merely consuming knowledge passively rather than absorbing real value. This is why, despite living in an era of abundant data, people have become more easily manipulated than ever before. The truly successful are not those who know everything, but those who master a single field and become experts in it. Look at Steve Jobs. He was not the most technically skilled engineer, but he had a profound understanding of design, user psychology, and how to create game-changing products. Warren Buffett is not the most broadly knowledgeable person in finance, but he has mastered the principles of value investing better than almost anyone. These individuals did not chase trends or attempt to become walking encyclopedias. Instead, they chose a path and delved into it until they reached mastery. Ask yourself, are you spreading your knowledge too thin without truly mastering anything? Are you caught up in the allure of knowing many things but lack the ability to translate knowledge into real value? If the answer is yes, perhaps it is time to rethink your approach to learning and critical thinking. Rather than trying to know everything superficially, choose a field or a skill that you are truly passionate about and dive deep into it. Knowledge is not a race for quantity but a journey toward quality. Because, in the end, the most successful individuals are not those who know the most, but those who understand the deepest. Modern society glorifies people who know a little bit of everything. But here lies the paradox. The more you try to learn everything, the harder it becomes to create real value. We live in an age where knowledge is everywhere, yet true understanding is rare. Take a look at the most successful figures in history. Steve Jobs was not an expert in every aspect of technology, but he had a deep understanding of design and user experience. Warren Buffett is not an all-around financial guru, but he is a master of long-term value investing. These individuals did not chase after every trend. They picked a field and became the best in it. The real question is, are you trying to know too much without truly excelling at anything? If so, perhaps it's time to rethink your learning and working strategies. 3. Row the boat to the other shore. Build the tower to its peak. Success is not merely the result of talent, it is the product of unwavering perseverance. In life, many people start with exceptional abilities, yet only a few see their journey through to the end and reap true success. So, what is the decisive factor? The answer is neither intelligence nor luck, it is the ability to persist until the very end. The modern world glorifies speed. People want instant success, immediate results, but what many forget is that anything truly great takes time to build. Look at the architectural wonders of history. The Egyptian pyramids were not constructed in a day. The Great Wall of China did not appear in a week, and a mighty tree cannot reach the sky without its roots growing deep into the earth for years. In any field, those who can patiently pursue their goals to the end are the ones most likely to succeed. Thomas Edison is a prime example of this truth. Before inventing the light bulb, he failed more than 1,000 times. But the astonishing part is not the number of failures, it is how he perceived them. He once said, "I have not failed 1,000 times. I have simply found 1,000 ways that do not work." This is the fundamental difference between those who succeed and those who give up. Successful people do not see failure as an endpoint, but rather as a necessary part of the journey. However, perseverance does not mean being rigid or stubborn. A person who clings to a flawed path without adjusting course will never reach success. More important than persistence is the ability to learn from failures, adapt, and refine strategies when necessary. It is this balance of resilience and flexibility that defines those who achieve greatness. In today's society, far too many people start with great enthusiasm, only to quit at the first sign of hardship. Some launch a business but abandon it after a few months of slow progress. Others begin learning a skill but lose motivation when faced with difficulties. This lack of persistence not only robs them of potential success but also turns them into wanderers in life, constantly starting, constantly quitting, and never truly finishing anything. True success does not belong to the most talented, it belongs to those who refuse to give up. They do not chase quick wins, they understand that to reap the rewards, they must first plant and nurture the tree for years. If you are not willing to go the full distance, then no matter how promising your starting point, your final result will be nothing. Ask yourself, are you truly committed to seeing your goals through to the end? If not, perhaps you do not desire success as much as you think. Because for those who genuinely crave success, challenges are not obstacles, they're fuel to keep going. People often say that success is a result of talent, but if you look closely, you will see that the most successful individuals are not necessarily the smartest, they are the most persistent. If you have chosen to pursue something, commit to it fully. Do not give up just because you encounter setbacks. Because what you achieve in life is not determined by how you start, but by how much you are willing to endure. 4. Gold is everywhere, but only the skilled can claim it. People often say that opportunities are everywhere, that the world is full of golden chances waiting to be seized. But if that were truly the case, why is success still reserved for only a select few? If gold could be found everywhere, why doesn't everyone become rich? The answer lies within each individual. Not everyone has the ability to recognize value when it appears before them. It is like a hidden treasure. Only those who have the map and know how to decipher it can uncover it. Opportunities function in the same way. They do not present themselves in an obvious, readily available manner but instead reveal themselves only to those who are prepared to see and seize them. We live in an era of information explosion, where millions of opportunities emerge every day. Yet most people still feel stuck. Why? Because they are not prepared. When an opportunity arises, only those who have sharpened their skills and refined their minds can embrace it. A musician may hear a melody hidden within the chaos of street noises, but to someone untrained in music, it is nothing but noise. A seasoned investor may recognize the potential in a rising company, whereas someone lacking financial knowledge sees only risk. Warren Buffett once said, "Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble." His words highlight a crucial truth. Opportunities do not wait for anyone, and success belongs to those who have prepared in advance. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that opportunities will automatically come to them, like gifts from fate. But the reality is, opportunities only appear when you have built a strong foundation. They are not external gifts. They are rewards that come from your own competence and readiness. There is a well-known story about two men stranded on a deserted island. One man sat and waited for a passing ship to rescue him, while the other started building a raft with whatever materials he could find. In the end, the man who waited remained trapped, while the one who took action crossed the ocean and reached land. This mirrors how people deal with opportunities. Either they sit and wait, or they take the initiative to develop the skills needed to carve their own path. Modern society is filled with people who blame their circumstances, believing they lack opportunities compared to others. But instead of searching outward for luck, they should be looking inward and asking themselves, have I made myself skilled enough to recognize and seize opportunities when they arise? If the answer is no, then the problem is not the lack of gold in the world, it is the lack of tools to mine it. So, instead of constantly searching for external opportunities, focus on developing yourself. That way, when a true opportunity appears, you will be able to seize it instantly. The world does not lack gold. What it lacks are those with the talent to recognize and extract it. We often hear that opportunities exist everywhere. But if that were true, why isn't everyone successful? The truth is, opportunities are not for everyone. They are for those who are prepared to recognize and seize them. You could walk past a treasure chest and never know it's there if you don't have the map. You could see an open door but never step through it because you are not ready. Warren Buffett once said, "Opportunities are like a door that opens for a brief moment. If you're not ready, it will close before you can step in." Those who constantly complain about bad luck are often just masking their own lack of preparation. If you have talent and persistence, when opportunity knocks, you will answer immediately. 5. You cannot know the depth of the ocean without diving. You cannot understand parenthood without being a parent. There are things in life that cannot be understood simply by listening to others or reading books. Some experiences can only be fully comprehended when one personally steps into them. This is the undeniable truth about the deepest aspects of human life: pain, love, gratitude, and sacrifice. People often judge things from the surface, believing they have understood a situation simply because they have observed it from a distance. But just like someone who only gazes at the ocean from the shore and assumes they understand its vastness, reality tells a different story. To truly grasp the depth of the ocean, one must dive beneath the waves, feel the immense pressure of the water, and witness the hidden world below the still surface. In the same way, to understand parenthood, one must embark on the journey of being a parent. As children, we do not understand why our parents worry so much about our future, why they constantly remind us of the smallest details, why they are willing to sacrifice their time, money, and even their personal dreams to take care of us. In our youth, we often see them as overly strict, outdated in their thinking, and incapable of understanding the modern world. But it is only when we become parents ourselves, carrying the responsibility of raising a child, that we realize nothing in this world is as unconditional as a parent's love for their child. Take the story of David, a man who spent his life resenting his father for not giving him enough attention. When David was young, his father was always busy with work, never had time to play with him, and missed many of his school performances and important milestones. As David grew older, his resentment deepened, believing that his father was distant and indifferent. However, when David himself became a father, he finally understood that raising a child was not just about spending time together, it was about working tirelessly to secure their future. He realized that his father had silently carried the weight of providing for the family, enduring stress and exhaustion so that David could have a better life. At that moment, all of his resentment melted away, replaced by deep regret and gratitude. Humans often fail to appreciate things they have never lacked. When our parents are still with us, their love and care seem like a given. But when they are gone, we come to realize that every missed phone call, every declined invitation to dinner, were opportunities lost forever. This awakening usually comes too late, when there is no longer a chance to say, "Thank you," one last time. There is a paradox in modern society. People spend their entire lives chasing success, money, and status, yet in the end, what they regret most are the simple moments spent with family. How many people have sacrificed their youth for work, only to look back and realize they missed the chance to see their children grow up? How many people have pursued ambition, only to discover, too late, that as their parents aged, time had quietly slipped away, never to return? Experience is the greatest teacher. No one can truly understand a parent's sacrifices until they become a parent themselves. Just as no one can fully grasp the loneliness of old age until they experience it firsthand. Only by living through these moments can we deeply understand what we once only heard in words. True understanding does not come from theories, it comes from experience. That is why we must cherish what we have, before it is too late. While we still can, let us spend time with our parents, express our gratitude, and treasure every moment together. Because time is the one thing in life that cannot be bought, no matter the price. There are lessons you cannot learn from books. You must live them to truly understand. Someone may read hundreds of books about love, but only when they truly fall in love will they grasp its complexities. Someone may hear thousands of stories about parenthood, but only when they become a parent will they understand its hardships and sacrifices. Conclusion: The words of the ancients are not just moral teachings, they're the keys to unlocking profound truths about life. But the real question is not how many times we hear or read them, it is whether we have the ability to truly understand and apply them in our daily lives. Wisdom is not meant to be merely contemplated, it is meant to be transformed into action. To change the way we think, how we face challenges, and how we shape our own lives. In today's world, there is no shortage of information, but there is a lack of deep reflection. People are easily swept away by surface-level ideas without taking a moment to ask, is this really true? We learn a lot, but we act too little. We consume knowledge, but rarely allow it to deeply penetrate our thinking. The wisdom of the ancients is not just a collection of words, it is the distilled experience of countless trials, observations, and real-world encounters spanning thousands of years. Every person has lessons they must experience firsthand to truly comprehend. No one can replace you in your journey of awareness and growth. But if there is one thing you can do, it is to ask yourself, do I truly understand this? How have I applied it in my own life? Because knowledge that is never put into action will always remain mere words on a page, meaningless and powerless. Wisdom does not come from knowing a lot, it comes from knowing deeply. Not everyone who reads extensively is truly knowledgeable, and not everyone who hears wise advice attains wisdom. Sometimes, a single sentence can change a life, but only if the listener is truly ready to receive it. If these philosophies help you see the world with a sharper perspective, free yourself from illusions, and live a more intentional life, then they have fulfilled their true purpose. There is no path to wisdom that does not require effort. There is no success without practice. And there is no meaningful life without first seeking to understand oneself. The words of the ancients are not just teachings, they are the keys to unlocking life's greatest truths. If you can truly understand and apply them, you will not only live a successful life but also one of profound meaning. Thank you for watching Practical Philosophy. If these insights have brought value to you, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest content. We look forward to walking this journey of wisdom and self-discovery with you. See you in the next video.